Way. Allah, Father of the universe.
Allah, Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide. And my salvation.
By
And
night.
my day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet. Through our lead. Amen. Please remain standing for the more signs and units. First shall rise giving praise to Allah.
First I rise giving praise to Allah,
The Father of the universe.
the Father of the universe.
I give honor to Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
I give honor to Prophet Noble Drew Ali,
The Prophet of Name.
the Prophet of Nam.
I give honor to all true and divine prophets of Allah.
I give honor to all true and divine prophets of Allah,
Jesus. Muhammad.
Muhammad,
Buddha.
Confucius,
Etc.
etc.
I give honor to Marcus Garvey.
I give honor to Marcus Garvey,
Forerunner of Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
forerunner of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
I give honor to the American
I
flag.
give honor to the American flag,
The flag of our birth.
the flag of our birth,
And to our decent flag.
and to our decent flag,
The Moorish flag.
the Moorish flag,
The red flag.
the red flag,
With the 5-pointed green star in the center.
with the 5-pointed green star in the center.
5 points representing the divine principles.
5 points representing the divine
Of
principles
love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
I give honor to our divine charter,
I give honor to our divine charter,
which gives us the divine and legal right
which gives us the divine legal right
to practice and promote our religion
to practice and promote our religion
unmolested.
unmolested.
I give honor to the grand body of the Moorish Science of America.
I give honor to the grand body of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
I give honor to all past leaders
I give honor to all past leaders
of the Moorish Science of America
of the Moorish Science Temple of America
in succession.
in succession,
Brother C. Kirkman Bay,
Brother C. Kirkman Bay,
Brother F. Nelson Bay,
Brother F. Nelson Bay,
and Brother J. Blakely Bay.
and Brother J. Blakely Bay.
I give honor to our past former Grand Sheik and moderator,
I give honor to our past former Grand Sheik and moderator,
Brother R. Lovehill.
Brother R. Lovehill.
I give honor to our present Grand Sheik,
I give honor to our present Grand Sheik,
who is the moderator,
who is the moderator,
Brother R. Jones Bay.
Brother R. Jones Bay.
I give honor to the Assistant Grand Sheik
I give honor to the Assistant Grand Sheik
of the Moorish Science of America,
of the Moorish Science Temple of America,
Incorporated,
Incorporated,
Brother A. Hopkins Bay.
Brother A. Hopkins Bay.
I give honor to the Grand National Chairman,
I give honor to the Grand National Chairman,
who is also the Grand Sheik here at Temple 71,
who is also the Grand Sheik here at Temple 71,
Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C.
I give honor to all national officials
I give honor to all national officials
in their office and station.
in their office and
I
station.
give honor to all state officials
I give honor to all state officials
in their office and station.
in their office and station.
I give honor to Brother H. Harris Bay,
I give honor to Brother H. Harris Bay,
Grand Governor of Washington, D.C.
Grand Governor of Washington, D.C.,
and to his assistant,
and to his assistant,
Brother T. Dozier Bay.
Brother T. Dozier Bay.
I give honor to all divine ministers,
I give honor to all divine ministers,
sheiks and sheikas,
chiefs and chiefs,
all members,
all members,
all auxiliaries,
all auxiliaries,
the Moorish media team,
the Moorish media team,
everything that the prophet brought and taught
everything that the prophet brought and taught
for the uplifting of fallen humanity.
for the uplifting of all humanity.
I give honor to all wayfarers,
I give honor to all wayfarers, sympathizers,
seekers after the truth,
seekers after the truth,
all of those who are listening in
all those who are listening in
and viewing.
and viewing.
I give honor to our class.
I give honor to our class.
Peace.
Peace.
I'll now read Salvation, Our God, Unity. The Moorish Science Temple of America, the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the Chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly, according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh, and ascended unto his Father, God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being in Moorish America, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and a partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds filled with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father, God Allah. Noble Drew Ali founder. Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. The Moorish Science Temple of America. P.O. Box, MST of A, 388, Greenbelt, Maryland, 20768. Thus we've had a reading from the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. I'll now read questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish Americans by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Act 1. Grand chiefs and governors and heads of all temples, all business. Each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali before acted upon by any members. Let it be finance, property, or any line of life that will cause the members to sacrifice finance, etc., that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under heavy restriction, etc., by the prophet or the grand chief. Act 2. All members are to attend their added meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second he will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If member is working, his monthly dues must be paid. And if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift a nation. Act 3. It is lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch him. Let it be he or she, according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as I have the power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must conform himself to the questionnaire, and let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guidance of the nation. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained noble Drew Ali the prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father, God Allah. Peace. Thus we had a reading from all 7 acts of questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish Americans by the prophet, noble Drew Ali. We'll now have a reading from the Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali, by the guidance of his father, God Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from the sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his father, God Allah. I'll read the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, chapter 3. Again, Elohim met his people in the sacred grove. No, pardon. Here we go. That's all, chapter 2, pardon. No, I'm not going to read that. I'm going to read from the back cover. Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Know thyself and your father, God Allah. The united, that you may learn to love instead of hate. Every man needs to worship under his own vine and fig tree. The uniting agent. Peace. Thus we had a reading from the Holy Koran of the Morris Science Temple of America. Our Sunday school is officially open. If there's anyone downstairs, please have them come up. How are the Moors today? Peaceful. Praise be God. All is well. Yeah. At this time, I'll call forth our grand sheik and moderator, our brother, man, and friend, Brother R. Jones Bay, for our Sunday school. It is my sincere hope that we all get something that we can take and practice on to help make our way fair upon the earth. And now say Islam to all those who are just coming up. Yes.
Islam. All right. God, Father, who is the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Muhammad. Amen. Praise Allah. Who made it?
Allah.
Who is Allah?
Allah.
Can we see him?
No.
Where's the nearest place we can meet him?
In the heart.
Who is Noble Dua?
He is Allah's prophet.
What is a prophet?
The prophet is Allah manifested in the flesh.
What is the duty of a prophet?
To save nations from the wrath of Allah.
Who is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America?
Noble Dua.
What year was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded?
1913.
Where?
Newark, New Jersey.
Where was Noble Dua born?
In the state of North Carolina, 1886.
What is his nationality?
Moorish American.
Where is your nationality?
Moorish American.
Why are we Moorish American?
Because we are the descendants of the prophets and Koran in America.
For what purpose was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded?
For the uplifting of following merits.
Let me ask you, listen. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Dua. What does that through mean? And keep in mind, we need no middleman. So what does the through mean?
Through accepting his teachings.
Through accepting his teaching. Yes. Yes. What must you show as you go through the Bible? What must you have as you go through the prophet? What must you have?
The light.
Willingness.
Willingness.
Desire.
The light, huh?
Desire.
Desire, good.
Acceptance.
Acceptance, good. What else?
Faith.
Faith. Yeah. What else?
Surrender.
What must you have to go through it?
Courage.
Submit.
Yes.
Commitment.
Submit. You must be what?
Willing
Submissive.
to submit.
Obedient.
Doesn't it tell you to bow yourself at our footstool? Well, the prophet is what? He represents the truth. So if the prophet represents the truth, then what we must do is first humble ourselves. Humble ourselves and do what?
Submit.
Submit or accept the truth. You must accept the truth. You must accept it. Now remember, you could be in the Morris Science Temple of America and have not accepted the prophet. You know that, right? You can say Allah, the Father of the universe, and you can say praise Allah, and you can say Islam, but that does not mean you have accepted the prophet. And don't fool yourself in believing just by going through the ritual that you have accepted the prophet. Don't lead yourself into believing just because I may be consistent in making my meetings, I have accepted the prophet. No, you have accepted going to your meeting. But that does not mean you have accepted the prophet. If you are accepting, or if you have accepted the prophet, that means you are a what?
Submitter.
A submitter, and a submitter to the prophet is a student. We're students of the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew. We're in school. And in the school that we're in is what? It's a divine school that teaches what? Yes, and Islamism is what?
The truth.
The way of life. So that means that we are the students of one who teaches us how to live our lives. Now, before you say, well, because remember we talked one time before, and you get all these people, and they have a tendency to say how much they love the prophet and what they'll do for the prophet and how they will die for the prophet. No, you've heard all this. Yet you won't renew your acts and amend your ways. You won't renew your acts and amend your ways, but you'll die for the prophet. See, we got to watch what listen. If you listen, you receive guidance. Allah tell you who is and who's not. And you're not making no judgment call. He's just informing you. Beware. That's all. You got to be aware of the talkers. Because the talkers can talk well. But that's no proof of truth. The truth is only proved when you what? You live it. That means as a student of Prophet Noble Drew, I'm obligated to do what? Yes, but something else. What am I obligated to do if I'm a student? No question. What else is it that I must do if I'm a student? Come on.
You gotta imitate the prophet.
No question. Ain't no question. Ain't no question. But a student got to be studious by studying.
And practice.
You got to study. And once you study, you got to do what? Practice. Because it's through your practice, your application is what does it do? Anoint you with what? The oil of wisdom. What is the oil of wisdom?
The guidance of Allah.
That's good. That's good.
Guidance of Allah.
That's good. That's good. His guidance. So we can, it says, to receive, protection by night and by day, you got to do something. See, don't take for granted. See, look what our prayer is saying. Look what it's saying. It's saying that this is due you if you go by way of the prophet. It says, through the prophet. So if you don't go through the prophet, how can you receive? Yet we pray consistently the Moorish American prayer. But have we accepted the fact that there's only one way through? One way through. You can't get through unless you go through who? The prophet.
That's right.
You can't get through. So that means if you want to get through, you have to make some adjustments in your what? In your life. You got to make adjustments. Because in our present state that we're presently in, we need to make adjustments so that we can get through. Didn't the prophet tell you how strict he is? He told you that when he said, look, if my own mother ain't right, she ain't going to get through. So we talking about going through. So that means we got to make some adjustments. See, and you stop, and I didn't say make excuses. You got to make adjustments. You can't be trying to live off the fact or supporting your behavior by saying that man is truth and falsehood strangely mixed. Not saying that that's not a fact, but we don't want to use it as an excuse.
He said he took all this.
That's what he said. That's what he said. So now, what are you willing to do to go through? What are you willing to do to go through? And remember, through ain't the ritual. It's a ritual. It's a ceremony for the purpose of showing those who are present that you have made a certain step. But that does not mean anything if you have not made the adjustments that are required for you to go through.
So we have to accept the problem.
You got to. See, you can go through the ceremony, but the ceremony is not what gives you everlasting life. It's the sacrifices that you got to make. It's the sacrifices you got to make. It's how you learn how to treat your brother and your sister.
That's right.
And it's about learning that we are brothers and sisters. See, sometimes we go through the ceremony and we think we done made it. That is a small accomplishment for one's acknowledging the fact that you have did something. But that something means nothing if you don't practice. If you don't live or you don't change your life, all you've done is just went through something that had no meaning whatsoever. And don't expect for what you put in. And if you ain't putting nothing in, you just gonna go in, and if you're not careful, be the slave to somebody. Because they're gonna tell you what to do as if they know everything. And they're gonna tell you how to act as if they know everything. And they're gonna sound intelligent. When you go through the true procedure, you are taking a step in learning how to think for yourself. You got to learn how to think for yourself. Don't be going through no procedure and you relying on somebody to think before you go here, go there, do this, do that. The prophet said, because I'm going to tell you something. You're going to hear a lot coming from people that say, prophet said, that if you ain't studying what he said, you ain't going to know whether or not he said it or not. And people use what by saying the prophet said to get their way, to gain influence over you. They'll make you think that they know something or privy to something so great that you need to be subservient to them to get the information. They'll show you little stuff, let you peep it and hide it. To make you, I'm telling you, you think I'm just joking?
No, listen.
I'm trying to tell you so you can get yourself together and don't become no slave. Because if you're not careful, your own brother will put you back in slavery.
That's right. That's right. That's what I said.
Trying to get you to understand when you come in here, you got to make some mental adjustments. You can't be coming in here playing. Because you ain't seen no vantage taker like you see a Morris vantage taker.
Listen.
You better understand that. Because if you don't, you just recycling what you're already doing. You come in here, you learn how to think for yourself.
Come on. Come on. Sir. What came to mind, we were talking about accepting the prophet.
Yes. Yes.
He say protect our prophet.
Yes.
And you can't protect him if you don't accept him.
That's right.
How can you protect the prophet if you can't accept it?
That's right. That's right. See, that's the truth. See, don't you know when you come in here and you reading these teachings, and I'm reading the instructions, you're reading the Holy Koran, you're reading the word that he brings. You know, what you want to try to do is try to get acquainted with what you're reading.
That's right.
Try to acquaint yourself with what you're reading. And then that part that is your gift of the understanding, you take that portion and you try to find out how it can fit with my life. See how you can cause it to merge into your life. And then you take an examination and you see if your life is changing. Acquaint yourself with it. Be able to stand on the fact that this really works for me. Because if you don't acquaint yourself with it, how are you going to defend it? How are you going to protect the prophet or the temple? You don't even know it.
That's right.
You see a picture of him, that's the prophet. But what does that mean? What does it mean? That's the prophet. What does it mean? And the only way you're going to know is that you be what you know. Come on.
Oh, man, see, you said that we look at the instructions that we need to acquaint with ourselves, but sometimes we take the instructions and we acquaint with other
Yes.
things or people.
Yes.
And I can help them, but you know,
But see, look what
then
you're
we
doing.
already arrived.
But see, look what you're doing. You're out. You're out. What about him?
Right.
See, it's good to want to share. But how you going to share something that you're not sure about yourself?
Mm.
Come on.
And the question is, what drives you to shame?
Yes. Yes.
What drives you to shame?
Yes.
Because see, vanity,
Yes.
what can do good can also do harm.
Yes.
See, vanity can give you the impression that you're shamed, but really you're trying to impress someone that you know something that they don't know.
Yes. Yes.
See, everything I'm learning about this movement is everything. What is our intent?
Yes.
What
Yes.
is our intent?
That's the truth. That's the truth.
And that's something we have to look within ourselves and be honest with ourselves.
That's the truth.
Because sometimes we see our intent,
Yes.
but we are comfortable with our intent
Yeah.
to a point when we won't address it. Because then in the long run, we don't think no one sees it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But Allah sees all.
Oh, you see, that's right. See, look, don't you know when you come into these teachings and you're exposed to these teachings, and if you got any kind of memory, you're going to memorize a lot of the stuff that you read. And meaning, and in saying that, you're going to go around the people that you still been going around. And you're going to utter some of these words. And some people are going to say, you sure are smart.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not careful, you'll get caught up in that.
Yes, you will. And I've seen some mixed teachings,
Yes.
they'll get a book, another book, and I've seen that many times.
Yes.
Where they'll mix the teachings
Yes.
with prophets.
Yeah. And to the untrained ear, it sounds right.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things that you're going to have to watch out for once you come into the Moorish Science Temple of America. A lot of things that you're going to have to be aware of when you come into the Moorish Science Temple of America. Some of us come into, at least I came into the Moorish Science Temple of America thinking that, oh man, look at this. This is really something. But that wasn't real. I had to see it to see it. See, we haven't seen the organization that the prophet has functioning properly yet. We're seeing what is becoming, but we haven't seen what he put in place yet. We're getting glimpses every now and then, but the glimpses are not what he put in place. See, this runs according to what?
Law.
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 It runs according to law. That's how the Moorish Science Temple of America functions. It runs according to law. The more law that you can incorporate in your life, the more of the organization is revealed to you. Why is it revealed to you when you do that?
It's the rule of life.
It is the rule of life. What else? Why? Why can you see it why can you see it when you start to incorporate its teachings into your life? once you start to incorporate the teachings into your life consistently, you start to see the design of the organization. See, the Moorish Science Temple of America has a design. You know what a design is?
Pattern, action, words, and
A design. It's designed in a certain way to reveal certain things when you reach certain stages of development. Come on.
You start to show your love towards his law.
You got to. You got to. That is, I would say, that in itself is a what? Requirement. That's required. Come on, baby.
I was thinking about obedience to his precepts.
That's right.
His happiness.
That's
to
right.
ourselves.
That's right. That's right.
And being obedient means we're submitted.
That's right. That's right.
And he will anoint you
That's
with
right.
all the wisdom.
That's right.
The more you strive to submit to be obedience to his law.
That's right. That's right.
You earn that right.
That's right. You earn it. That's right. And look, not only do you earn that right, but then you learn the significance of putting your hand in Allah's hand. See, that's a process in itself.
Without doubt.
We got to learn how to put our hand in Allah's hand.
Mm.
See, that's more than just saying. Jesus spoke, he spoke for those to understand at different levels. There's different levels of understanding. All of us understanding, but there's different levels of understanding. That's based on where you are along the way.
Right.
So we come into the understanding or the level of understanding of what it means to put your hand in Allah's hand. See, once you learn to put your hand in Allah's hand, before you can, all is well, you got to stop doubting.
That's what I trust.
See, once you put your hand in his hand, you know all is well. You can't be no, doubt. Oh, I don't know. And you don't know how long it takes for you to learn the science of putting your hand in his hand. Come on.
I'm trying to think when you say, when you know the law,
Yes.
when you know the law, you know the real,
Yeah.
as opposed to the unreal,
Yes. Yes.
the hearsay,
Yes.
the illusion
Yes.
of this movement.
Yes. 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 And you learn how to see, once you learn the law, then you're not confused about his law. Now you can really tell the difference between his law and the law.
That's right.
See, you got to see how this thing works. His law with the law. You got to see how it works. Because see, you can use his law to justify what you do. That may not be right according to the law. Come on.
It's not a place. I hear you, you leaders, you national of this movement. This is happening.
Yeah.
That came to you,
Yeah.
when you put your hands in the law hand.
Yes.
This is happening.
Yes. Yes. That's what we're learning to do. That's what we're learning to do. Come on.
Like you were saying, as far as like when I first came to the movement,
Yes.
I came in, in a certain position
Sure.
in life.
Sure.
And, you always had like brothers that followed certain fractions of the temple.
Sure.
Because when the prophet brought the temple, he brought it in degrees.
Yeah.
And brothers used to practice according to what degree of understanding they had.
Yeah.
Like when it was the Canaanite temple dealing with nationality.
Yeah.
When it became a civic organization
Yeah.
in 1926.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
you got some brothers that they just deal with the governmental
Yeah.
structure of it.
Yeah.
And then, like some of the Moors, like they used to say, oh, that's the spiritual Moors. They just deal with the
Yeah.
religious, or the spiritual part of it.
Yeah.
But like you said, when you start to come into maturity of what the temple is,
Yeah.
you start to have the understanding, the whole totality
Yeah.
of what the prophet brought.
Yeah.
And now I truly understand why he said it'll take you 50 years to know what I brought you. And if you're not careful, 50 years gone by, you won't know that I even came.
Yeah.
And I that always stood out to me because it's so much to learn
Yeah.
and learn how to use the temple in its totality. So I clearly understand what you're saying when you're saying like this thing comes with degrees. You got It's levels to it, for real.
See, he gives us a clue when you come in here. Well, he gives you a clue. Once you're in here for a moment, you start reading and you start. But then the significance of this statement comes into play for you. Then you start coming to the grasping of what the movement is about. He says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. That's what he tells you to do first. He didn't tell you to run after nationality. He told you what first to do.
That's right.
Why? Why did he tell you that's first? Because it's a state of mind. It's a state of mind, and you got to adjust your thinking. You got to think differently now. You're coming from out of the material and to the unmaterial. That's an adjustment. You just ain't gonna flip over from all that stuff we got in us and think we all of a sudden we're gonna make this grandiose adjustment. We got some stuff in us.
Yes, we do.
Stuff that we ain't even discovered. Stuff that's so deep that you have not even uncovered it yet. Yet it's there. It exists. Come on.
It's on.
It's on.
You just said that part of it, and early on you were talking about putting your hands and arms on him, and then you were just mentioning seeking ye first the kingdom of heaven.
Yes.
Both of these statements, as you just said, seek.
Yes.
Seek ye
Yes.
first.
Yes. Yes.
So we have to put in the work that we want to learn the truth.
Yes.
And our is the truth. When we come in here, like you said, and be here for a moment, we learn it. You're starting to learn the our God.
Yes. Yes.
So you want to go back to the source.
Yes.
And seeking the kingdom of heaven
Yes.
is what we're supposed to be doing because we're in a holy and divine movement.
Yes. Yes.
You're going to come
Yes.
out of the world, and when you get 2 or 3 sentences up under your belt, you're going to go back in the world?
Yes.
No, we got to continue
Yes.
to seek what it is that we should be sorting after.
Yes.
Who we are.
Yes.
Our spirit and a part of Almighty
Yes.
God.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
When we put our hands in our own hands,
Yes.
and
Yes.
you do this with sincerity because you reached a level that you know you're starting to learn
Yes.
that He is our protector, our guide,
Yes.
and our salvation.
Yes.
I must stay in His care.
Yes. Yes.
And it also initiates the thing that we're trying to do, whether we're conscious of it or not, is be at one with Him.
Yes.
We're seeking a oneness.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's
You're
right.
putting your hand in Allah's hand, acknowledges, at least to Him, if you are being sincere, that, Father, I trust you. Here I am. I know that there is no other way but you.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So those are things that I just take from that.
Yes. Yes.
And they go together, as the brother said. Yeah, Morris can try to dissect this organization all they want.
Yes.
And try to pick what piece they think work for them.
Yes.
All this is together, but
Yes.
you got to do it in a manner, as you just said.
Yes.
You talked about I may be missing the word you just used, design.
Yes. Yes.
The design is to be followed,
Yes. Yes.
step by step. You don't come in here and be in here for 3 or 4 years and then join. I mean, you can do that, but as a member.
Yes.
You can't be in here and say, I'm a member of the Moral Science of America, but you never registered. You never joined a temple. We have more that out there, they bounce around. They want to tell you everything about the temple. You say, what temple you with, Mark? With Mark, you know, we heard. I know what they say. We heard all kinds of stuff. And
Yeah.
amazing to us.
Yeah,
But they missing the
That's-
design. They're missing the specs. You gotta do this in the order in which this organization has been established.
Yeah.
It's been established in a particular order.
Yes,
When you don't do it in that order, you're not in line with the prophet.
yes, yes,
You must do it just like the prophet said. That's why we must imitate him.
yes, yes, that's right, that's right. Come on, let's go.
I was listening to Koran Sheik, and I think, maybe my thoughts would be wrong or in error. I think once you put your hands in Allah's hands,
Yeah,
and all is well,
yeah,
and if you one with Allah,
yeah,
you saved.
yeah, yeah,
I think you saved once you become one with Allah.
and I think you're right.
I mean, because what more is it that we can do once we become saved,
Right.
once we become one with Him?
Right,
I don't need to seek nothing else.
right. Well, there's nothing else. See, once you become one, there is nothing else but one.
Right.
It's no.
You're one. Nothing else does exist. That's what we're trying to get back to. We're trying to get returned to the oneness and get away from all this multiplicity and stuff. Come on.
But you know, Brother Lee, one of the key elements to what you said is we got to learn the science in being able to put our hands in
Yeah.
Allah's hands.
Yeah, yeah. See, babe, you know what? And I tell you, you know why that's important? Because we have a tendency to withdraw.
Come on.
See, sometimes we withdraw.
Mhm.
We withdraw our hand before we even get there. Because something is powerful in us, and that's what? Inconstancy. And inconstancy also promotes what? Doubt. It promotes doubt. And sometimes we can be right up on it, and all of a sudden here that doubt comes. And all of a sudden you change your way of thinking. That way of thinking before the doubt came in, no, now that the doubt is present, no longer suffices. No, I bet not.
Isn't that the mixture?
It is a mixture.
Just the mixture of man being false and truth, truth, truth.
Yeah, it is a
and
mixture.
falsehood.
It is a mixture. And the reason we can talk about it together because all of us are mixed. Come on.
That's what I read when Jesus said, my heart is fixed.
Yes,
You know.
that's good. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And he's a prophet.
Yes.
But he's telling us this. Your heart must be what?
Fixed.
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 And he had to work on his.
Yes.
We got to work on ours.
That's the key, Mark.
But
That's it. Yeah. We ain't automatically gonna be there. I don't care how long you've been here.
That's
You
right.
gotta put in the work.
Got to put the work in.
You gotta put in the work. And you gotta be, another point that's been made, you gotta be sincere.
You got to. That's right.
That eliminates the doubt.
That's right.
Sincerity will eliminate the doubt because the sincere man is purging up the truth.
That's right.
He'll recognize where he gotta go and what he gotta work on inside of himself.
Yeah.
Continue to be strong.
Yeah.
But he'll be sincere about it even as he goes through it
Yes.
because he'll examine himself.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
I gotta do some more over here.
That's
Try
right.
to do a little bit more
That's
right
right.
there.
That's right.
He won't make excuses.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right. Oh, I just jumped out myself. Good gracious. And you see it. But you see it. And what you see, you don't like. I'm holding that next time. I'm going to hold it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like that. I didn't like myself out there like that. I got myself out there like that, and look what happened. Come on, Mark.
Praise the Lord, not a problem, boy. To me myself, I think that I recognize that the Moore Sign Temple of America makes sense
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
You know, I was told years and years ago that little small pamphlet we read out of,
Right.
Holy Koran of Mecca. The
Yeah.
Holy Koran of Mecca is the truth.
Right.
That little small pamphlet, I think once I apply that to myself, my words, action, and deeds is cool.
I need to go back. I need to go back for a minute for me. Tell me what you just said about the Holy Koran.
Mecca.
You said that little small pamphlet, you said the Holy Koran of Mecca.
That's right.
Okay, I didn't understand that part.
It's the truth.
Okay, but I'm saying, okay. You do know
There's
this
laws.
Okay,
Laws.
okay.
Under-
But are you meaning to say that little small pamphlet, the Holy Koran of Mecca, or do you mean to say the Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America?
Holy Command of more scientific America.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, praise God. Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, come on, baby. Oh,
Second, the word I was just gonna say was sacrifice.
yes. That's an excellent word.
Sacrifice. It's
That's
not
excellent.
sacrificing to do what we're striving to try to do.
And your question.
And the only one that can see the sacrifice is the one who's willing
Yeah,
to make the adjustment.
yeah,
You see, the will of man makes possible the
Yeah.
actions of the Holy Brother.
yeah,
And each and every one of us have a will
yeah,
to choose.
yeah,
Now, are we willing to make the sacrifices?
yeah, yeah.
Are we willing to fight the conflict that cannot be told in words?
Right.
Are we willing to realize that the world that we are in is an illusion, and if we're not careful, we can die under it?
Yeah.
Are we willing to fight ourselves from getting caught up in it?
Yeah.
Because so these things are the sacrifices that one must make to become one with him again. It's not an overnight program.
Yeah.
Because you said something that made me think about when we were children,
Yeah.
how we took on certain habits. We talked about this one time.
Yeah.
How we took on certain habits
Yeah.
and never addressed them.
Right.
And we brought them into our adult years.
Right.
And we still haven't addressed them.
Right.
And we don't even know that they affected them because they came a part of our behavior.
Yeah.
But these habits we gained when we were younger.
Right.
And that's why I think when he said, don't let evil habits gain strength over in their years. Because if you don't address them, they don't go away.
Right.
They just keep on going.
Right.
And they get stronger.
Right.
To a point where you may benefit from them.
Right.
And you start liking them.
Right. Well, you may benefit, yeah. But see, the benefit, what happens with those type of behavior patterns that develop, they develop under the influence of materialism.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, praise God, yeah.
And see, what we may get satisfaction from materially gaining material things,
Right, right,
which helps to reinforce that way of
That's
behavior and thinking,
right,
because we're getting something from it,
right.
you know. And we still need to examine it to make sure that that's not carrying over and affecting us
Right.
in our decision making to a point where we set ourselves back by making the wrong choices.
Right.
Right.
I hear you, sir.
You see?
Praise God.
Come on now.
Islam. And also, as the governor was talking about sacrifice,
Yeah.
we want to be careful, or maybe let's define what we're calling a sacrifice.
Yes.
Because changing some of what you used to do to what you should be doing in accordance with the law is not a sacrifice.
Yeah.
It's an instruction, and it's the law the adjustments you must make. You just talked about that when I first came in.
Yeah.
What adjustments that we can make in our life.
Yeah.
They're not sacrifices in the sense of what our duty is.
Right.
They're adjustments that we make, and sometimes we have to make changes
Right.
that are really not sacrifices because now you're coming from the illusion to the truth of the matter.
Right.
So I'm just trying to say,
Right.
let's not look at everything we do like coming to our meeting.
Right.
I'm gonna make the sacrifice to come to the meeting. No, that's the law. That's your
Right.
duty.
Right.
You ain't make no sacrifice to get here.
Right.
You're trying to save your life.
Right.
So we just want to make sure we're looking at
Right.
sacrifice
Right.
in the proper
Right.
context
Right.
as we do it. And I know the granddaughter was speaking about it in the proper context
Right.
as it relates to the duties that we have.
Right.
Let's change some of the ways we were thinking about things and start to do them in the manner that the prophet has said.
That's right. That's right.
So those changes are some of the what we may consider to be sacrifices in that regard.
Right.
But you want to now do things in accordance with the law.
That's right.
Are
That's
you
right.
willing to give up? That's really what
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You have to be willing to give up, and that's the sacrifice. Give up the way you used to think. Give up the way you used to act. Give up the things you used to do.
That's right. That's right.
You see, you're sacrificing the way of life of the world
That's
for
right.
your salvation.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. You know that it's good that you put it on that word sacrifice because that's a good word. See, we gotta know what a sacrifice is.
Yes.
Right.
So it's good that's good. But I was in a debate in my sister.
Islam. Mo, you know, the prophet, he said, like you said, he set this up for those who are faithful.
Yeah.
To Allah and those who want to follow the path. That is correct, because this movement is set up to save lives.
Right.
That's what it's for.
Right.
It's for the uplifting of fallen man. When I was coming up, I had problems
Right.
in my life.
Right.
I mean, real serious problems.
Right.
But see, when the prophet grabbed hold of me, he started to solve my problems.
Okay.
That you see different things.
Okay.
And that's how I started solving my problem.
Okay.
And it was through him
Okay.
that I began to realize that I didn't have to do those things anymore.
Okay.
You see what that way?
Okay.
Because in the Lord Son's Temple of America, if you follow the law, that's why he said, like you said earlier, through his holy prophet.
Right.
This is why when you do that,
Right.
you become different and you won't accept those things no more. You
Right.
begin to cut them off because you want to live a peaceful life
Right.
and you want to be in harmony.
Right.
See, Allah is not a confusion maker.
Right.
It's when we take on other people's ideas
Right.
that starts the confusion.
Right.
So you have to look at it, you have to say, is this beneficial?
Right.
You see, and we grow up on not that old house,
Right.
but a different type of house.
Right.
I can say that.
Right.
Yeah.
Sister down here.
Islam, I was thinking about when they was talking about sacrifice, and I was thinking of another word, courage,
Okay.
right? Because me to make that sacrifice, I had to have courage to let go of that illusion. Let go of them things that have been instilled in me, over time,
Yeah.
and not be afraid to
Yeah.
face what's coming,
Yeah.
and realize it's not gonna be an easy trip,
Right.
right? But if I stay on the path
Right.
and I stay with the teachings, right,
Yeah.
it's okay. But I got to have courage to do that.
Yeah.
And we fear. That's one of our weaknesses is fear.
Yeah.
And we don't have the courage to make that sacrifice because we don't want to know what's coming ahead,
Right.
or we're comfortable with what we got.
That's right.
And we scared to move on or get something different and stuff. So I thought that was another word should be added in there is courage.
Yeah.
Courage to make that sacrifice, courage for the truth, courage to go on.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the courage, we ain't doing anything but talking
That's right.
Come on.
and sounding good.
That's right.
I think we sounding good.
You know, one of the how fear, some of the ways that they manipulate, or fear manipulates our thinking, is when it gets you to a point where you think you're gonna lose something that you got.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when you start, fear can say, "Oh man, if I do this, I'm gonna lose."
Yeah.
But listen, what you gonna lose? You're gonna lose a thing.
That's it.
You're worried about, and most of the time we think about losing things. Yeah. On this plane of things made manifest. In other words, we think about losing what's not even there in the first place.
Exactly.
Because it's an illusion.
Exactly. We ain't got it anyway.
But look how our thinking was manipulated
Come on, Mo.
into the way that we put more emphasis on things that really should be there.
Come on.
And once you get tied to a thing, that thing starts to find itself entwined in your thinking, the things you do, the decisions you make. It affects you. That thing.
Right.
People got killed over cars.
Yeah.
Right, Mo.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
People get killed over things every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Yeah.
You know? Okay, I saw. Okay, Mom. Okay, babe. And I got you.
I'm gonna read the definition for sacrifice.
Yeah.
It says, this is one of the definitions. It says, forfeiture of something highly valued for the sake of one considered to have a greater value or claim.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned earlier when you said seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. And all these things are added unto you. That's a sacrifice. Because when, you know, the prophet is instructing you that all this other stuff that you chasing, seek, you know what I'm saying, allow the prophet first. And then that's a serious sacrifice, especially when you're in the world of so many different illusions. You know, and your own, like you were saying, your own lower self can tempt you to just go the wrong way, because even he tried to do Jesus like that. When he said, you know, all the things about all the treasures and all this will be yours if you give your life to it. And Jesus spurned that. That was a great sacrifice. Jesus could have had a whole rack of fame and money if he wanted. He could have had the real throne, the earthly throne, and all that, you know. And you know, when you start talking about sacrifice, you know, the prophet, he definitely showed us sacrifice, because, you know, when the dirty Moor chased me with a knife, you know, he said, I got a right to leave you. One time he said, you know, like y'all always say, he didn't want to come. You know, that was a sacrifice. So when you're dealing with sacrifice, it's like a lot of stuff that you have to give up. And then you can see the spiritual vision, you know, and then all that other stuff will come to you later.
Come on, man.
So, it made me think about, I always wrestle with this part. The glass is half empty and half full. See, and I always think about, full of what? Is it full of that or empty of this?
Right.
So what do we want the glass to be full of? You know what I'm saying? That concept of man said the glass is half empty and half full. What we want to be full of this and more empty of that. So when do we even know?
Well, I think when you get to the point where you can make the decision of what is that, that you're trying to be full of or half full of, what is your perception of half empty and half full? What am I putting in? What is full? And like you say, full of what? That's solely dependent on your perception and what you chose to be full. You know, what do I want to be full of? No. Go ahead. Shingley. Yeah.
You spoke earlier about we being a student.
Yes.
Prophet knows dry.
Yes.
We talk about sacrifice.
Yes.
Prophet instructs us to know thyself.
Yes.
You know, in order to be a student, we have to study ourselves.
Yes.
In order to know ourselves.
Yes.
So when you study yourself,
Yes.
and you get to know yourself, you know what you like. You know what you don't. You know where you need work on. You know, but if you focus more out than in, you're not knowing yourself. You're not looking at yourself. So when we get to study ourselves, then we can see where we at along the way and where we need to work on. I need to work on this a little more. I need to stop that right there a little, you know. So I would just think about know thyself.
Yeah, that's good.
Study thyself.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. Come on.
You know, Brother Marvin, I'm glad you clarified the difference between the little small book that was revealed to Prophet Noble Ali and the book that was revealed to Prophet Muhammad. Two different missions. You understand? Prophet Noble Ali was sent to us for on a certain mission to uplift us from the state that we had fell into. You know, Prophet Muhammad was sent to another group of people to uplift them from the state they were in. You understand? So the missions, two separate missions, even though they were sent as servants of Allah, they had two different separate missions. You know?
Okay. Come on, Mom.
The word comes to mind, shackles.
Okay.
Those things are our own shackles. That keeps us from preventing us to move forward. And we create the shackles based on the way we look at the things that we accomplish or the things that we go after in our journey. And we don't know that those shackles will hold us down and not afford us opportunity if we don't do things in moderation.
Right.
Do things in moderation. If it has a beginning, he gave us a key, it must have an end.
Right.
But sometimes we believe that in our minds, sometimes we think that it's supposed to last forever.
Right.
That which permanent life must be permanent.
Right.
But we don't take the time to look at it the way he said we should look at it.
Right.
We look at it the way we were taught to look at it by someone else's teaching,
Right.
which is shackles that keep us earthbound
Right.
and allows us not to release ourselves
Right.
from it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
you often say we enslave ourselves.
Yeah. We are
And
the slave.
we enslave ourselves, and until we realize that, we're gonna continue to enslave ourselves.
Yeah.
No one can give you the apple; they can offer it to you,
Yeah.
but you gotta bite it.
We are the slave master and the slave.
Yes,
Come on now.
come on.
I mean, think about it.
I mean, real bad. We
We are the
created.
slave master and the slave.
True.
We playing both roles
To ourselves.
to ourselves.
Mm.
Brother, those you back.
You know, I was sitting there and I was just going, reflecting through my mind some of the things that you said earlier and making a connection with. When you spoke about seek ye first the kingdom of heaven,
Yeah.
right, and all these things will be added unto you, and then listening to what the brother just said about the know thyself.
Right.
In that same particular chapter,
Right.
I think it's verse 9, it lets you know that a part of Allah himself is within thee.
Yes.
And Allah is heaven.
Yes.
So knowing yourself is trying to connect
Mm.
with the Allah that is in you. Peace.
Okay.
Praise the Lord.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
It's normal. Took me when you said something about, when we got up in us, when they pulled in us.
Yeah.
It's so polluted in a way of this material thing, of this European teaching.
Right.
And it's gonna take us some time to reach that spirit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's covered up so much
Yeah.
from generation to generation.
Yeah.
These things been added into you.
Yeah.
And that's when the prophet, he came with on a mission,
Right.
a divine mission.
Yeah.
I see that thing,
Yeah.
because it had to be something divine.
Yeah.
Because we've been caught up still in the maturity. This land would have never been, taken away.
Right.
It had to be something spiritual.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's go to chapter 12. Okay, look, this is just a recap, and we're gonna finish it. And we got the gist of it, because what we're talking about is what Jesus is trying to impart to the people who had no hope.
Right.
Because what is he doing? He's trying to let them know about their thoughts.
I know you were down by the part about the mind.
Uh-huh. It's 20. Yeah. Praise the Lord. Thank you. Okay, look. Jesus teaches the common people that the spring tells them how to obtain eternal happiness. In silent meditation, Jesus sat beside a flowing spring. It was a holy day, and many people of the servant caste were near the place. And Jesus saw the hard-drawn lines of toil on every brow and every hand. There was no look of joy in any face. Not one of all the group could think of anything but joy. And Jesus spoke to one and said, "Why are you all so sad? Have you no happiness in life?" The man replied, "We scarcely know the meaning of that word. We toil to live and hope for nothing else but toil. And blessed the day when we can cease our toil and lay down and rest in Buddha's city of the dead." And Jesus' heart was stirred with pity and with love for these poor toilers. And he said, "Toil should not make a person sad. Men should be happiest when they toil. When hope and love are back of course, then all of life is filled with joy and peace. And this is heaven. Do you not know that such a heaven is for you? That's the question he asked himself. He asked himself. Do you really know that? Do we really know and accept that heaven is ours?
Come on.
That all we got to do is do it? Or are we still within the realm of doubting that well, I don't know if I can do that yet? But have we tried?
That's right. That's right.
You hit the nail.
You know, have we tried it just to see if there can be something that gives me a little hope that I can get a little more of this? It says, the man replied, of heaven we have heard, but when it is so far away and we must live so many lives before we reach that place. And Jesus said, my brother man, your thoughts are wrong. Your heaven is not far away, and it is not a place of meats and bounds. It's not a country to be reached. It is a state of mind. Allah never made a heaven for man. He never made a heaven. We are creators and make our own. Now seek for heaven in the sky. Just open up the windows of your hearts, and like a flood of light, a heaven will come. Will come. If you open up your heart, what will come? Heaven. But you got to open up your heart. Now the question is, how do you do that?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's the question. Show me how to open up my heart. Because if I can open up my heart, I can bear witness to heaven.
That's right.
But I got to do something about that. I can't see it happen until I do something about this. And y'all do know when I'm the heart is only symbolic. Because I ain't talking about the physical organ.
That's right.
Yes. Come on,
and one thing I think about the thoughts are in our heart.
That's right.
So it's a cleaning up we need to do.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And that's a very good question, Brother Leader, because you have to ask yourself, how do you open up your heart?
Yeah. How do you open? Yeah.
Come on, yes, huh? And along with that, and he's teaching us how to do it.
Yes.
We also got to be mindful of what are you looking for heaven to be.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
See, everybody may have a perspective
Yes.
or their perception
Yes.
of heaven. We got to make sure that we're looking at this thing
Yes.
so that you don't think heaven is something that it's not.
That's right.
You go right back to saying, "Oh, I got that car.
Yeah.
I got that big house.
That's right.
I'm in heaven now."
That's right. That's right. That's right.
See, we got to watch it.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And it'll be us tricking ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there's just one thing. And the thing about it is we got to be careful we don't circumscribe.
Yeah. Look, because if I just get this, that's all I want. I have everything I want. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, see, what if I may?
Yeah.
But he just explained to us where it is. It's a state of mind.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's what he did. Wait a minute. Because we ain't gonna finish it unless I found it. Now cease to seek for heaven in the sky. Just open up the windows of your hearts, and like a flood of light, a heaven will come and bring a boundless joy. Not only will it come, but it's going to bring something with it.
Yes.
A boundless joy, meaning no limits. Right. Okay. All right. It says, the people were amazed and gathered close to hear this strange young master speak, imploring him to tell them more about the Father God, Allah, about the heaven that men can make on earth, about the boundless joy. And Jesus spake a parable. He said, a certain man possessed a field. The soil was hard and poor. By constant toil, he scarcely could provide food to keep his family from want. One day, a miner who could see beneath the soil and passing on his way saw this poor man in his unfruitful field. He called the weary toiler and said, "My brother, know you not that just below the surface of your barren field which treasures lie concealed? You plow and sow and reap in a scanty way, and day by day you tread up upon a mine of gold and precious stones. The wealth lies not upon the surface of the ground, but if you will dig away the rocky soil and delve down deep into the earth, you need no longer till the soil for nothing." Question is, have we been able to identify two things that have to be done there? It's two things that have to be done. That's a process. And the process, that's the process that's being given to us. You see two things. What two things do you see? Dig and what? Dig and delve. That means digging is not enough. See, once you dig, you got to go down there. You got to delve down. Once you get to digging, now I got to delve down deep. So remember, that comes in pairs. Digging and delving. So it says, the man believed. Didn't say the man knew that the miner was right. Say the man believed. Well, he thought that perhaps the miner knows what he's talking about. I think this man might know what he's talking about. Well, what difference does it make if I go ahead and try? At least I should go ahead and try, because I ain't getting nothing but scanty stuff there anyway. How can it hurt for me to take another chance and go a little bit deeper? To dig and delve.
Right.
Come on, y'all.
And especially after you've acknowledged he is the mind.
He is the mind. And said, he surely knows. Yeah. Now, we say, the prophet is the prophet.
Right.
He surely knows the way to salvation.
Right.
That's right.
That's right.
But yet,
You still
that's my point.
You still yeah.
But we got to believe like this.
Yeah, he got to believe. But look what he did. He tried it.
He gave it a change.
See, some don't even try.
Right.
Some don't even try
That's right.
to even see if this is right. Come on.
You know, I think about it when I think about that, where there's a shame to be ignorant.
Yeah.
We have no
They
understanding.
have no understanding. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
we just okay. We okay with what we got,
Yeah.
and that's what he's talking to us about now, about our conditions.
Yeah.
See, he's not. We that happened 2,000 years ago, but he's talking to us today
Yes.
about the way we look at things.
Yes.
And we delve down deep,
Yes.
and we truly accepted that the prophet know.
Yes. Yes.
See, we gotta, and I often think about putting us in that era, putting us in the day with that information
Yeah.
to help us be able to see what we need to do so that we can do things more better.
Yeah. 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 I'm glad you identified the fact, because this lesson is truly for us.
You better believe it. Yes, it is. We the people.
And we got to accept the fact that we have the power to create a condition known as heaven.
Come on. Come on.
And I'm struggling with that.
Yeah.
See, I'm struggling with that. I'm struggling with accepting the fact that I can create a heaven.
Mm.
See, I'm trying to hold it. But the challenge is going to make you start to consider, what? Well, you need to not listen to that lower self.
Mm.
You need to proceed forward. See, just because you know these lessons don't mean that all of a sudden you have accepted these lessons.
Mm.
You got to go through something.
Yeah.
You got to experience something. See, because if you know how to know, he tells you. We gotta be what we know. And as much as I see my condition improves when I think a certain way and I can hold it, that lower self still comes up and say, well, you know. You know what? Whatever you know. And then now you start thinking, well, what do I know? And you start to, yourself starts to call out down. Come on.
I mean, because Jesus went through some trials and tribulations.
Yeah, we all
saw
go through
temptation.
Yeah, Mo. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got to. We all have our, remember I told you, we all go into our little private wilderness. We all go into our wilderness to know our strength and worth.
That's the key, man.
Yeah.
We gotta build up strength.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
can learn these lessons, but you gotta be strong enough to apply them.
That's right.
Praise the Lord.
That's
It
right.
takes strength. Did he say this is a field open to strong men?
That's what he said. That's right. That's right.
And your strength is constantly being built as you practice.
That's right.
It does not come automatically.
That's right.
Jesus didn't come into it automatically. He had to build up the strength by buffeting the woes of every
That's
kind.
what he said. That's right. That's right. That's, and it's good that you interject those things in the manner in which we're doing it so that we can understand we're going through the same thing.
That's right. That's right.
And that helps me to become able, that helps me, well, that has helped me to be able to relate to Jesus more.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, I didn't see me being able to.
Yes.
Because I wasn't taught like that.
That's it.
I was taught that he's way there. Yeah, I'm just here.
That's right.
But now he done came and told me, I'm your brother, man.
Come on.
I just come to show you the way.
Come on. Worship me not.
And what I've done, all men can do, and what I am, all men shall be.
Praise God, praise God.
Oh man, that gave me another perspective of this thing.
Praise God.
So it goes on to say, and then he dug away the rocky soil, and deep down in the earth he found a mine of gold. And Jesus said, the sons of men are toiling hard on desert plains, and burning sands, and rocky soils, are doing what their fathers did, not dreaming that they can do aught else. What is he showing you? What is he showing you about the burning sand, the rocky soils? What is he showing you? He's showing you the different conditions of life. These are conditions.
Yes, sir.
And he's saying that those that have gone before us, our fathers, we're caught up in doing the same thing they've been doing. And don't think there's nothing better. But look, we think what's better is what they used to tell us what was better for them.
Yeah.
Once I get me some money, I'm going to be able to. Okay, well, once I get me some money, I'm going to be able. So I'm doing this, I found the same suit because now I'm caught up in thinking that that's going to release me. That finance is my way out of this thing. No, that finance, if not used correctly, is your way into this thing. Come on.
Because believe it or not, the whole thought is the cause of it all.
Yes.
It's not the things, it's your mindset.
Yes. Yeah. Look, with a mind to employ it aright is peculiarly favored and highly distinguished. With the mind to employ it aright, there's a right way to employ this thing. Come on.
Said, he could be on his way out.
Yeah.
And he could be on his way out, because the prophet said if you live on the illusion, you might die.
Down, that's right.
So he might be on his way out. He don't know where he's going.
For real, we don't. Under that illusion. Under that illusion, which way are you? What? Look, you're going to do everything you can not to go out. You know, you might take somebody else out just so that you won't be able to go out. See, the glory and the shame is displayed. The whole way of thinking is in disarray. But look what he's done to us and for us. He's put us in a position now where we can start to understand, or we can start to accept the fact that we have a choice.
Deacon Turner's place says stuff earlier, tip. That tip. You know, that's right from the heart.
Yeah.
That tip.
Yeah, Mark. That intent, yeah. And Jesus said the sons of men are toiling hard on desert plains and burning sands and rocky soils, are doing what their fathers did, not dreaming that they could do aught else. Behold, a master comes and tells them of a hidden wealth, that underneath the rocky soil of carnal things are treasures that no man can count. That in the heart the richest gems abound, that he who wills may open the door and find them all.
It's about the piece there.
That's a power.
That's not it, bro.
That's a power.
It's about it.
Alexander Bain Daniel.
Islam. I love this chapter. I love all the chapters. But the language that the prophet is using, he's telling you the difference between wealth and riches. So you have to pay attention to the words of the prophet, because he's speaking to you in a language that you can understand. Peace.
That's a good point. Good point. Good point, Alexander Bain. Come on, yo.
Islam. And you know, as you read that last part, you talked about the 2 steps first, the digging and the delving.
Yes.
And the third is the will.
Yes. Yes.
After you dig, delve, and then you must will yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the book talk. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Brother J. Morris May, I see your hand. What about you, brother? That's your hand, Mo.
Praise the Lord. How you pick this up on
I thought.
He got something over there.
There's something going on.
He got something over there. He wants to say.
Yeah, something pulled me over there. Sure pulled me over there.
Just one thing, brother, that one word I think, that jumped out at me was barren fields. Unproductive.
Yes.
See, we travel and
Yes.
function unproductive
Productive.
fields.
Yes. Yes.
See, non-productive.
Yeah.
We gotta stay away from, we gotta try to protect ourselves from them barren fields.
Yeah. Yeah.
They non-productive.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It produces nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the desert was saying.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. It says, behold, a master comes and tells them of a hidden wealth, that underneath the rocky soil of carnal things are treasures that no man can count. That in the heart the richest gems abound, that he who wills may open the door and find them all. And then the people said, make known to us the way, that we may find the wealth that lies within the heart. And Jesus opened up the way. The toilers saw another side of life, and toil became a joy. Right. Now you know the way has been open for us, right?
That's right. That's right. Prophet opened the way for us.
That's right. That's right. Prophet opened up the way. What is the way?
Islam is first the kingdom.
That's right. Seek ye first the kingdom. That's the way.
That's it.
Get away from the illusion and start focusing on
Going through the real.
yeah, that's the way.
Yeah.
Seek ye first the kingdom. Yeah, you know. Yeah. Peace.
Praise God.
Islam.
Islam.
I'd like to thank our grand speaking moderator, our brother, man, and friend, for a very thought-provoking lesson today. And it is my true hope that we've got something from there that we can take and add it to that which we've got before and help to make our way that much further on the earth and to try to aid in the upliftment of fallen humanity. At this time, I'm going to call for Thank you, Brother Grand Governor. Call for our Assistant Grand Governor of Washington, D.C., Brother T. Dozier Bay, to read our proclamation. And while it's being read, please give the reading your undivided attention. Please cease all movement.
Islam. Islam. I rise once again giving praise to Allah and honor to His holy and illustrious prophet. The prophet warns all Muslims, governors order to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive a reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card, button, cease wear their turban or fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah. I lost my train of thought. I gotta repeat this again if y'all don't mind. Sure. Prophet warned all Muslims, governor, order to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform our members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans that cause confusion. Remember your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, and freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the prophet, toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive a reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in the prophet, they should turn in their card, button, cease to wear their turban or fez, and return to the state where the prophet found them. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet. Know but true Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore sent out the blind plea to all Moorish America that they do their part in protecting the prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sins by order of Prophet Noah Drew Our Lady. Peace. Peace.
Islam wars, Islam. That ends our question. Allah, the Father, universe.
Allah, the Father, universe.
Father, love.
Father, love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.